So we've happened upon some winemaking equipment here at the vineyard, which is not in use right now because it's not harvest time. It's obviously summertime and the grapes are still growing on the vine. But what we have when the wine is harvested, the grapes are growing on the vine now. They'll be picked. Normally they're picked at nighttime to preserve the freshness of the grapes so they're not exposed to sun and start to wilt. So they'll be picked sometime between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning. They'll bring them in these giant 1-ton containers to this machine. You see this forklift here will be used to lift up the containers and dropped into this machine. And this machine shakes everything and sorts out into clusters of grapes. So the clusters of grapes will then travel up here on like a little conveyor belt guy process, and this will go along to another conveyor belt, and there'll normally be a team of people who sort the grapes and basically are picking out the stems, the seeds, the pips, which are another part of the stem, the top of the grape, just picking that stuff apart and trying to clean it as much as possible by hand manually, and then it will go into the thrasher. The thrasher will essentially remove the pulp and the stems and any other excess stuff from the inside, the guts of the grape, and then create the juice. So we have the thrasher here, and so it'll go in one side, and as it sounds, thrasher, it will get thrashed and start creating juice, and the juice will, and the pulp and the seeds and pumice and all that other good stuff will come out the other end to be put into fermentation tanks and into barrels. And you can also see right here, these are the plastic tanks which are used to hold grapes, and then also once it's thrashed, to hold the juice until it's put into an appropriate sorting tank. And sometimes these containers, which have solid sides, are just topped off, and fermentation even begins in the plastic container, or at least exposure to yeast begins in the plastic container, and then they're placed into oak, stainless, or whatever type of fermentator the winemaker is going to use.